The Yankees. He said something about the Yankees.
Folks, welcome back. It's me and the twins who know a thing or two about wins, Carter and Cooper, the Twin Stripe reporters. This is Bronx Bomber Banter. Boys, I hate to say it, it's a beautiful week out. It's a beautiful week on tap with 6 games at home, but not exactly a week to remember for our Bronx Bombers.
Yeah, we definitely have not been playing our best baseball, but hopefully that could change. Yeah, 5-game losing streak. It looks rough, but there is some positives.
For sure. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't worry about spilt milk. You can't cry over spilt milk there. And at the end of the day, as we get into it, the goods and the bads of the past week, because obviously, you know, when you lose all those games, it's very hard to take any positives. I think the one we can out of it, boys, are these were one-run games. These could have easily gone the other way. It just feels like in a small week and a small sample size, they didn't go in our direction, Cooper. That makes us feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it would be something else if it was like 10-run games, but 1-run games, they just need to find a way to win the close game, and I think they could definitely do that. That's not a problem for me.
All right, so I've got our positives and our negatives here, and I'm going to ask you guys which you're focusing on more, since, like we said, it's a small sample size, and we're still very early in this New York Yankee season. Shout out to everybody tuning in and watching us, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We have everyone tuning in. Make sure you're following Twin Stripe Reporters on Instagram. They're all over the place, but we've got the negatives and positives so far. So for positives, we lead the division besides losing 5 straight games. I know it's early and I know it's tied technically, but that's a positive. Ben Rice is absolutely mashing. Guys playing softball out there, so that's very good. We got Stanton hitting 300. If he could hit anything close to that number, that should most definitely be some October magic for the Yankees. And then we still have most of the pitching rotation under a 3.1 ERA. So there's a lot of goods there, boys.
Yeah, the rotation looks really good. Schlittler, even though we pitched 5 innings, 3 runs, that's a decent start, and that's like his worst start of the year. So if he could do like maybe 6 innings, 2 runs every game, which he's consistently done better than that this season, then I think it should be pretty good for him. Fried is always going to be pretty consistent. Weathers, 8 innings, 1 run. That was insane. That was impressive from him. Hopefully he could do close to that good again.
Yeah, you talked about Weathers. So unfortunately, we get into some of the bads. We have Bednar, not exactly, you know, to be honest, we saw this with Devin Williams. We see this with new players, especially pitchers, when they come to New York. Sometimes, I'm not saying the lights are brighter, but there's tons of media wherever you play now in the Major League Baseball of it all. But it feels like maybe there's just a little bit pressure when you come on and you start playing with the Yankees in that spot.
Yeah, I feel like Bednar hasn't been hit hard. He's gotten a lot of weak contact against him. He still is tied for the lead in saves this year. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Bednar is doing. He will be better for sure.
I was gonna say I don't Cooper. I don't think opponents are gonna hit 350 against him all year.
No,
yeah,
his strikeout stuff is a lot.
I feel like he's gotten very unlucky, like small like bunts and stuff, like we were talking about.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 bunts against the Rays the other day.
Yeah, so obviously, listen, I will say, though, and I think we have to take accountability, small ball is an area where these Boone teams have struggled. You got to be able to make those plays. You got to be able to make the fundamental plays. I mean, you guys are taking baseball lessons every day. You know how important that is.
Yeah, but it's not just this year. For the past couple of years, the Yankees haven't been a small ball team. It's just home run or nothing, and if they can't hit a home run, they're not going to win games. It's really frustrating. Just stick to the fundamentals, learn how to bunt a little, just get some singles. You know, and
seriously,
all the other teams know they aren't great with the fielding, so like they just bunt it, they do whatever and
slash it.
Yeah, but I would say they're pretty decent defensively this year. Rosario had a bad play with David Bednar on the mound, I think 2 days ago, and if McMahon was in that spot, he probably would have made that play. But it's okay. Rosario's a pretty decent defender too.
Decent defender, and you're obviously going to take his bat for sure. So then the other side of the things, boys, we're talking about the goods and the bads. The Jazz Chisholm situation. I have to address this with my guys. Look at him. He's touching his head. That's when you can tell you got a bad situation, when you're touching the forehead, everything like that. Where did you guys land on this? Because obviously, listen, I would look at Jazz as our glue guy, right? He's in that clubhouse. He's making all those teammates closer. He's making all those good vibes feel that much better. But when you hear that soundbite, it's a little bit disconcerting to not exactly know this situational baseball when it's been so important for us in years past, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just to know the rules of baseball. Like we're 11 years old and we know that stuff already. So and if you don't know it, don't admit it.
Wise words for sure. Sometimes if you open your mouth, you let people know exactly what you know, and that was what he did there. Also, I mean, between you guys and I don't think it was a good look that he was like putting on the earring while he said it. Like it kind of looked a little casual, whereas maybe he could have looked a little more diehard. But listen, that's what we are. We're fans. We're diehard. We're fanatics. So that's what we get into. We're excited to get into a new week ahead. Obviously, after this past week, we'll be taking on the Angels and the Athletics the Angels and the Royals to get halfway through April here. But before any more, let's talk some April trivia with our boys Carter and Cooper, the Twin Stripe reporters. I know you guys love it. We're revving up, and this is a long season of trivia, so don't hold it against me. But we got some April-themed trivia as we get halfway through April here. So I think you guys are going to get these. These are pretty much layups. Who has the record for the New York Yankees for the most home runs in one season in the month of April?
Probably Babe Ruth.
Not Babe Ruth.
Mantle.
Not Mantle.
Maggio.
Is it Tino?
Not Tino. You're getting closer though. It's very recent.
Is it A-Rod?
Not A-Rod. A-Rod did have 14 in 2007, but that was
Judge?
Aaron Judge in 2017 had 10. So I was surprised, even in Maris's seasons where they had 60, he didn't have that many in April, but obviously Judge did in 2017 there. And then for the pitching side of things, who holds the record for the most strikeouts in the month of April in a single season in a Yankees uniform? This one's recent as well. Not CC Sabathia. This one's even more recent. Garrett Cole in 2021 had 64 strikeouts. I mean, so it feels crazy that Garrett Cole's already been a Yankee for 5 years, guys.
Yeah,
Wow, I haven't even.
he led the league in strikeouts that year. He had a really good season.
Yeah, he was unhittable that year for sure. No spider tack necessary, as they say. But with that said, what is necessary, boys, is for us to put this week against the A's and the Rays in the rear view and focus on the Angels and the Royals obviously coming to town. Are you guys going to any games this week?
We're gonna be there on Friday, maybe a couple more games.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Listen, oh my God, I told you guys when my parents took me to my first game, I'll never forget it. You guys are very lucky. Obviously, shout out the mom and the team there behind the Twin Stripe reporters, of course, for making sure our guys are always in the right position. But A's and Royals of it all, guys, you're going to get the opportunity to see Mike Trout. You'll get the opportunity to see Bobby Witt Jr. So on that topic, curious what your guys, obviously those are some of the top players in the MLB. Trout more in the last 10 to 15 years, Witt more recently. Well, who are your guys' favorite non-Yankees in the MLB? Who do you like to watch or see highlights of?
That's a good question. So I play fantasy baseball, so a lot of the players on our fantasy team, I have Scuball, so I like him,
Okay, Scuball is dealing for sure.
I like Paul Skeens because he's going to be a future Yankee, of course.
I know, we've been talking about that for years.
I really like Luke Weaver, obviously. He's former Yankee.
Luke Weaver, I liked him because he had the Darth Vader sound effect when he went into the game. I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Andrew Weaver.
Absolutely, for sure. But yeah, no, that's awesome. So obviously you guys will get to see Trout and Bobby Witt Jr. this week. The one thing I'll say, boys, is we did get a little bit lucky. We're going to be able to dodge Jose Soriano. Have you seen what he's doing for the Angels?
Oh my God, he leads the league in strikeouts, right? He's had like a less than 1 ERA. He's been like the best pitcher in baseball right now.
First pitcher to 4 wins, 4-0. Yeah, and like you said, CNC, just some absolutely nasty stuff from Jose Soriano. So sometimes, you know what? If we were 8-1, I'd be saying, or if this was a week or earlier, I'd say, yeah, bring on Jose Soriano. Let's see where we match up against that pitching. After last week, I'm like, no, I'm this on Soriano for this one. We can catch him later in the season for sure, boys.
Okay, we'll pass on.
Yeah, maybe when we're in LA.
Absolutely. And then on that note, because we're talking about your favorite, players to watch now in the MLB, who are your favorite non-Yankees that you've ever seen play?
Well, I've never seen Chipper Jones play, but I've always really liked to watch his highlights and all that stuff. I got an autographed scorecard from Cooperstown when I got there, and I've always been hooked with him since.
Oh man, you would love it because my buddy used to be a Mets season ticket holder. So we used to go to those Mets Braves games in like 2000, 2001. That was a big rivalry. Oh my God, Chipper Jones in the on deck circle, everyone's chanting Larry, Larry. Yeah, and then I mean, and you guys know the 96. The 96 and 99 World Series, too, were against those Braves. Those Braves were some outstanding teams. Think about all the championships they won in the early 90s, and then thanks to the Yankees, it kept them from being a super 90s dynasty for sure.
Yeah, he even nicknamed his son Shea. Yeah, from Shea Stadium.
Yeah, hey, listen, sometimes you just got to pay when it's due, you know, for sure. Speaking of stadium delights, here with Carter and Cooper, Twin Stripe reporters here on Bronx Bomber Banter. Ooh, sorry, boys. I'm lagging here for a second.
All right. It's okay. Well, hi, everyone. Technical issues. All right, everybody. What's up? Stop. There we go.
Sorry, boys. Am I back?
Yeah,
it was me. It was all me. Okay, it was my outside login. So just winding down this episode of Bronx Bomber Banters with my co-hosts here. I wanted to talk to you guys because I know you've been in the stadium and there's been a lot of hype about this ice cream chicken. So I got to hear from my Twin Stripe boys. Did you get the ice cream chicken yet?
I have not tried it yet.
Okay, all right.
The lines were insane, and I heard that they're like running out of it in like the first inning, before the first inning. Like, it's not worth waiting in a line for 3 hours and not even get it. And if you want to get one, you're gonna have to miss the entire game. So we'd rather watch baseball than eat some ice cream chicken, which is probably not even that healthy anymore.
That's very well. Listen, that's a very straight edge shake, and you boys have been raised well for sure. But listen, I got to try some ice cream with you guys soon. When I come into town, we got to try some ice cream chicken for sure. At the Yankees game. With that said, Coachella. Do you guys know what Coachella is?
I do not know what Coachella is.
Okay, so Coachella is a music festival. So it just happened in California this weekend. There were performers. Have you heard of Sabrina Carpenter?
I think I heard of that. I think I've heard of that name.
Okay, what about Justin Bieber?
Yeah, I know him.
Okay, so Justin Bieber toured up. So are you guys big Bieber fans? Are you believers over there?
No, I don't listen to his music. Not really, I don't know. But we know.
Okay. Well, the funny thing was that for his performance, he basically just pulled up YouTube and sang a bunch of songs from YouTube. It was kind of funny. It was kind of like what you or I would do if we were doing a concert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little ridiculous. Yeah, so seriously, you might want to check it out. It should be age appropriate for you boys. But with that said, obviously, huge week ahead. Anything else you guys want to say before we sign off here on the Bronx Bomber Banter?
Yeah, let's go Yankees. Shout out to you too.
Oh, let's go. Appreciate that. All right, CNC, let's bounce back from last week. I think a good goal for this week is 5 wins. I think that would make it.
And we need all the fans to come out to Yankee Stadium and make some noise and support this team, and hopefully that'll help us win.
Let's go. See, that's the vibe. We need the fans. We need the vibes. We need it all because this is the podcast. This is the show where we love when the Yankees win. The